If you are a raw feeder wondering whether you should be feeding your large dog veggies, this is the video for you. Today we are going to tackle a long-standing question in the raw feeding world. Can dogs eat veggies? Or rather, should dogs eat veggies? This question is the source of some controversy, so I hope you will stick with me as I share where I've landed on the question for my raw-fed Mastiffs and how I approach feeding veggies. If you are new here, my name is Stephanie, aka Big Dog Mom, and on this channel I provide information and resources to help you and your big dog live your best life together. This video is the fourth or fifth that I have done on the subject of raw feeding big dogs, so if this is a topic that interests you, be sure to hit that subscribe button and check out the rest of my raw feeding playlist. Okay, with that, let's dive into the subject of veggies. You might be wondering, what's all the controversy about? After all, veggies are healthy and necessary for humans. Why would we believe any differently for our dogs? As you probably know, dogs are carnivores, meaning they get their primary nutrition from animal sources, meat, bone, and organ. Yes, it is true that wolves do get some plant matter through the stomachs of their prey and through some scavenging and foraging. My understanding is that the carbohydrates they consume are not a necessary part of their diet, meaning they don't need them for their optimal health. Unfortunately, as a society, we have strayed very far from this ideal and moved our dogs to a diet that is almost exclusively carbohydrate, i.e. sugar, in the form of dried commercial kibble. Without the protein and fat, however, a wolf or domesticated dog will fail to thrive, and worse. Many raw feeders, particularly those feeding what's called a prey model raw diet, do not include fiber or carbohydrate, in other words, veggies and fruit, as a part of their dog's base diet. This was me for many, many years. I focused on just getting the balance of meat, bone, and organ correct, and anything else I fed was basically a topper that didn't really get calculated or factored into my dog's daily caloric needs. So if carbohydrates and veggies are not necessary for a dog to thrive, why am I now feeding veggies to my raw-fed dogs? Great question. The answer for me is simple. First, Sully loves the veggie blend. I'm going to show you in just a minute. It takes very little time or effort to make, and it's just an added little treat to his bowl. And the fact of the matter is that I don't really know with 100% certainty that my dog is getting every nutrient he needs for optimal health. When you are feeding a diet that is just made up of meat, bone, and organ, the sourcing of those ingredients is incredibly important. The nutrient density of grass-fed beef compared to grain-fed, for example, makes a huge difference. Additionally, even with the highest quality meat, bone, and organ, there will be nutritional gaps that are unavoidable. I've talked about this many times on this channel, so I'll link below a few of those videos and blog posts. No diet is perfect or perfectly balanced, no matter what anyone tells you. For this reason, I have started to add a small amount of a homemade vegetable blend to my Mastiff's raw diet. The added fiber, phytonutrients, antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals that are only found in vegetables and fruits can only benefit my dog's health, and my hope is that by doing this, I'm filling in any of those nutritional gaps that might exist in his raw diet alone. Okay, so let's dive into how I make this. First, remember, dogs can't digest veggies straight from the bag like we can. You need to process them first before feeding. There are a few ways to do this. First, you could just throw everything straight into a blender, like a Vitamix, and pulverize it into a blend and feed it raw. This method will provide the most nutrients to your dog and should be considered if you have a blender strong enough. The other method, the one I'm showing you today, requires some light steam and pressure to lightly cook the veggies first before blending them up. While this second method will reduce the nutrient density a little bit, either way works well. I use an Instant Pot to lightly cook my veggies. I simply toss in all of the veggies I'm going to add. In this case, you see kale, broccoli, carrots, mushrooms, and sprouts. There are many other veggies you can add. Just be sure it's something that is healthy for dogs to eat. I'll include a list in the description below for the fruits and veggies you can feed your dog safely. I add all of the veggies to just below the max fill line and add a little bit of filtered water. I set my Instant Pot to 4 minutes at high pressure, though my guess is I could use a lower pressure for less time and retain more of the nutrients. I quick release the pressure after 4 minutes and pour the entire mixture into the blender and blend it up to a thick liquid. Normally, I do this on the day I'm prepping 30 days of raw meals, and I simply divide the entire amount into each of the raw meals. Today, I'm showing you how to pour the veggie blend into ice trays and freeze them for later. As you can see, I have 2 large batches of veggies in each of these gallon-sized bags. This is enough for Sully to get 2 to 3 veggie cubes per day for 30 days with his raw diet. I add various fruits to his bowl as well on the day of feeding. I don't cook those ahead of time. I just toss them in each day depending on what I have on hand. You might be asking, how much vegetables should I be feeding my raw-fed dog? The consensus is somewhere between 5 to 10% of your dog's diet can be made up of vegetables and fruits. I'm quite certain I've never come close to 10% for my Mastiffs. I'm probably closer to 5% or less. I use a balance over time approach. Between his supplements, which I shared in my last video, and this veggie blend, on top of the highest quality raw food I have access to, I believe his diet is as optimized as I am able to get it on my own. But now it's your turn. Fellow raw feeders, do you feed vegetables to your big dog? I would love to hear your thoughts and feedback in the comments below the like button. And with that, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of this video, and we will see you in our next one. Bye for now.